My pimply ass ain't gonna be on there. It's like the wrestling business. You not make that shit up.
Oh man, back once again, Reinforcer Radio back on the air with you. My name is Jeff Lawhorn, and the guy waving here to my right, looking all stellar in his black and white. You know him, the Reinforcer himself, Andrew Anderson. How's it going?
What's up, Jeff? How you doing?
Another
Welcome
day.
back. Yeah, it's been a few weeks, right?
No, we were on what, a week and a half ago.
A week and a half ago, but it seems longer than that.
It always does seem longer than that, but you know, for a while there, I was saying a week, so it's it's like a week and a half.
Well, the last time you were on vacation on a cruise, and I was in Costa Rica, so with Karen, and we were kind of away for a while. So
yes, and it just kind of feels like we haven't talked to you guys out there for a little bit, but you know what? We're back. We're ready to roll. I got the new ECPW shirt on that Andrew gave me from last show.
Yep, he's rocking his vintage East Coast Pro Wrestling t-shirt.
So shout out to those guys at East Coast Pro Wrestling, all you've done for Andrew over the years. And I've been out to a show there with Andrew, and then those guys kill it out there. I love going to see that local talent.
So today, what's on the agenda for today?
Well, today we're also going a little blast from the past like we did on the last episode, and we're going to talk to another legend. The cooker himself is coming on with us, Bob Cook, and many of you may know him from his many, many years, WCW, WWF. He's been all over the place.
You know, Bob has a habit of downplaying his career. I've been friends with Bob for a long time, and he has a nasty habit of downplaying his career. He has had a stellar career, because the names that he has worked and the places that he has worked is phenomenal. The things he has done and the people who he rubbed elbows with over the years, it's just, I like to call Bob Cook's career stellar.
Absolutely. I mean, how can you not look at a stellar career when you're going up against guys like Sting, Brian Pillman, Ric Flair, right? Even like his time in WWF. I mean, the British Bulldog. I feel like there's nobody bigger that you can really step in the ring with than a guy like the British Bulldog.
Luger and Savio Vega and was it Hakushi?
Hakushi, yes. Yeah. So I mean,
I got a question. How did Hakushi? He was the guy who painted all the tattoos on him, right?
Yeah. He had all the Japanese lettering all over him.
Was it legit, or was it tattooed, or was it painted on?
You know what? I don't know.
Did he have like stick-ons? Because I mean, that would take a long time in the locker room. You'd have to get in like at 9 o'clock in the morning just to get like ready for a 5 o'clock call-in time.
And it was always perfectly lined.
Yeah, so I think it had to be tattooed.
I don't know. Maybe I'll have to hit the old Google there, and we'll check out that.
Yeah, I don't really know much about him.
I don't either. But you know what? He had a great feud in the 90s with Bret Hart.
Yeah, I remember
that. Was really, really good. And it seemed like Vince was going to push him for a little while there, but Vince always didn't always know what to do with the international stars.
Yeah, I think he dropped the ball too with Tajiri as well.
Yeah, Tajiri, I feel like he was starting to head up on the rise, and he was really making a name for himself. But I think a lot of that had to do with his personality and what he was bringing to the ring himself.
Yeah, Tajiri, I was on a tour with him just most recently in the UK in 2022, and I just saw him last year at WrestleCon in Philadelphia. It's always great to see him. He's a good friend.
Yeah, and we're definitely still working some angles. We're trying to get Tajiri on the show, and I'm sure he's got some great stories. I know when we talked to Matt Jarrett from WPW in the UK, he was talking about some of the craziness that you guys had over there in the UK.
Oh my God, Tajiri and me in the same building, or running through Piccadilly Circus and everywhere else. That was a moment.
Now, does he actually have that strong of an accent like he put on, or is that okay?
He speaks very broken English. I mean, he understands what you're saying, but he's, and you can understand what he's saying, but he speaks very broken English.
Yeah, I was wondering because he kind of reminds me like Funaki, where I think he understands a lot more than he puts up.
Yeah, yeah, he does. He does.
But he plays up that kind of that, Japanese looking, Japanese sounding guy where, I'm not sure where to go.
And he's got a tremendous sense of humor. He's just an all around good. And you know what? He could still go. He can still do all the moves.
Yeah, he looked like he was in great shape. Some of the pictures I saw of him recently.
His hair got a little gray, but don't let that fool you.
Well,
like I always say, your first mistake is assuming I'm an old man.
Reinforce the radio.
Yo, guys, Reinforce the Radio back on the air one more time with you. And if you're on our YouTube channel, you can see that we got a guest with us. We told you a little bit about this earlier in the show, but we got a legend once again with us. He may not think he's a legend, but he is a legend. Bob Cook is on with us. Bob, how you doing, brother?
Hey, thanks for having me on. I'm only a legendary Mountain Dew drinker. Sponsor the cooker. I spent way too much money on this stuff.
Well, let's kick it right off with that. Andrew told me, he was like, make sure you ask Bob about Mountain Dew. So you brought it up, man. What's the deal with Mountain Dew?
Well, I'm addicted to it. I'd rather be addicted to heroin because I've seen it on TV and movies and it looks fantastic. But so far, I'm just addicted to Mountain Dew. But if you got any connections, you got my number.
I do. I may actually have some connections. I work right outside of Philadelphia, so I may have a few. I'll send them your way. Not that if anybody's listening.
Nobody wrestler dies in the bathroom at McDonald's from a heroin overdose. I think I heard that before, though. Someone stole my gimmick years ago. Oh, shit. The camera thing went down. God damn it. Look at this crap. Can't do anything professional. I fired my makeup lady earlier, and I'm going to fire the cameraman, too. Son of a bitch.
So do you want Karen to do your makeup? I mean, she could really do it.
I don't know. I want makeup artists that sexually harass me, so probably not. That's why I fired her. She wouldn't sexually harass me. It was in the job description, too. Never mind. Let's get away from that.
All right. So for those of you who are not familiar with Bob Cook, how the hell are you not familiar with Bob Cook? First,
it's pretty easy.
Bob has done a ton in the professional wrestling business over the years. He's done a lot with WCW. He's done some WWF work in the 90s. You had a really, really big run throughout the 90s of working with some huge names we were talking about earlier, guys like Sting and Brian Pillman and Ric Flair and stuff like that. Anything stick out to you in your mind of guys that you were able to work with over the years and what they brought to the ring and what you were able to help with them?
Very few of them hurt me, and that was a plus. This thing keeps going down. I'm sorry. I'm really getting pissed.
Bob, just hold the damn thing.
No, I'm shaky. What are you, crazy? Jeez, that's embarrassing. Take two. Is this live?
He has a professional podcast as well.
Oh, yeah. It's real professional. Although I just learned green screen stuff, and it's pretty cool, to be honest with you.
I did see that on your post earlier about doing some green screen work.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, Andrew actually sent me right when we were starting out. He sent me a picture of your set, and he was like, "Yo, look at this," and I was like, "Dude, I can't afford a wrestling ring right now."
God, it's doing it again. I'm sorry, man. This never happened before.
Bob, I thought your set for your podcast is outrageous. I love it.
Shit. Now I could be a porn star with the green screen stuff without actually having to be a porn star. All right, that's it. It's going to have to just stay where it is.
Well, you look fine from there. You look fine.
I got to sit back further. I'm sick of this crap. All right. Now I'm fatter than ever. Oh, shit. All right. I'm sorry.
There you go.
See, I got my Al Snow collar and elbow jacket on just to cover the belly.
And you got the awesome Terry Funk shirt, of course.
Well, you got to represent the punker. And I got an Evil Knievel hat on. I represent all the heroes.
He's a avid Evil Knievel collector fan. Yeah, and you were personal friends with Evil Knievel, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
Mm-hmm. And Robbie Knievel too, right? Both are gone now, right?
Yeah, they're both. I only met Robbie once, but he was cool as hell.
Wow.
Did you ever get to do anything work-wise with Evil?
Yeah, I did some stuff for him as far as helping him take stuff to different places. Like in '99, a friend and I took the rocket he used for the canyon jump and the bike he used for the shark jump and a bunch of other stuff out to the Snake River Canyon for at the time, which was the 25th anniversary of the jump, which was awesome. And he flew in and signed autographs and, it was awesome.
Was he doing any stunts at that time?
No, he was long retired. He was just doing the old convention circuit before it was a thing, going around Harley dealerships and signing autographs and, getting paid to do it.
Well, that's exactly what I do now.
I wish I could do that.
Well, you can join me.
Yeah, right. No one wants my autograph. Look, we got a show in Lutz, Florida, GrappleCon. People I know, Dave Prince and all of them, they're doing a thing, a WCW theme. But guess who wasn't invited? I would have done it for $100 and a case of Mountain Dew. But they got all these other guys. I got a perspective on WCW. I was there for 8 years almost every week. I got a different outlook. I don't got the stars outlook. I got the looking up at the lights outlook, but it's a different outlook. Did they invite me to come in a paid appearance? No, but at least I get to go for free.
I thought Penzer wasn't involved in that anymore.
Well, he's going to be there.
Oh, obviously, yeah. So Dave's a good guy.
I realize my value is zero, but, hey, I got stories too. Maybe some of the stars wouldn't like the stories told, but I got stories.
But you had a stellar career. That's the one thing I use to describe your career.
My bank account says otherwise, but...
Yeah, well, I think that's for all of us, but you worked Pillman, you worked the Road Warriors. Now, you worked Kevin numerous times, right? Kevin Sullivan?
Yeah, it was always fun.
Always fun when he stomped on your belly, right?
He never hurt me when he did it, no.
Never hurt me either, but that was one of the beautiful things of it. So if he didn't like you...
He did it to Rex King, and he pooped blood for about a month. But, yeah, he liked Rex.
If Kevin did not like you, he would stomp hard. If he liked you, he would not.
I don't know how you guys do some of that. I watch like Finn Balor right now, and man, when he takes that coup de grace off the top, I don't know how some of those guys are not hurting afterwards.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's a crazy.
It's a
move.
work. Oops, did I say that?
Yeah, it's a crazy move, though.
It's not a work.
It's an art.
It's
an art.
Completely an art. Anyway, so you were saying none of these guys hurt you, which was really awesome. So I'm sure that extended out the career a lot longer, I'm sure, than you thought maybe you would have. I think everybody kind of goes into it with a little bit of perspective of, I don't know how long I'm going to be doing this thing. So it's really cool that you got, you said 8 years with WCW.
Yeah, pretty much. A lot of fun.
Who do you remember working with that you felt like brought the best out of Bob Cook?
I can't go back and look at those days because it's like doing TV. I hated doing TV, and it wasn't about losing. I didn't care about that. I had no self-confidence, no low self-esteem, all the things that fat people have. And I was never comfortable doing TV, and those matches were
never
4,
fat.
5, 7 minutes, whatever they were. But the guys I love to work with, though, Steamboat and Bobby. Okay, morbidly obese. There is a difference. I realize that. Your average person's fat, but morbidly obese, that's a whole nother level of fatness.
That's his favorite thing to say, morbidly obese.
Every doctor in the country would go, hey, Bob's not lying.
Yeah, but
here's one of the culprits right here.
Listen, I'm a soda guy myself. So
I've been up for about a half hour, and I've had 3 Mountain Dews already.
I thought you switched to Diet Mountain Dew.
Yeah, well, kayfabe on that one. See, kayfabe's not dead.
Karen wants to say hello to you. She's been
hello,
waiting.
Karen.
She couldn't get a word in edgewise with us to be speaking.
Hello.
She can't hear what you're saying.
Oh,
I got to get her a set of
microphone.
I got to get her a mic and headphones here, so we can add a third here to the whole deal.
But what you were asking, the guys I love to work with there were Cactus Jack, Bobby Eaton, Ricky Steamboat. I go on and on. But Steiner brothers were fun. A lot of people didn't like working with them, but they were always cool to me. Rick Steiner or Scott Steiner always used to tell me, get that punch in, sell the punch. But he'd sell the punch. Both of them would. So they were always cool to me.
Yeah, Andrew always said that they were, as long as they liked you, they were really awesome to work with. Now, if you were on the upper end of that, it wasn't going to be the easiest night for you.
Now, Rick Steiner, the first time I worked with him, he gave me a fat lip, although I think it was an accident. And remember when he used to do that thing where he was talking to his hand?
Yep.
He was doing that, and he just jabbed me, and he gave me a fat lip. But he used to whip you off the ropes, and he'd go, guess what? So that meant either a clothesline, which could be snug, or a power slam, which could be no effort by me.
Or a belly-to-belly.
Or, anything from those guys.
Man. So what are you doing these days, Bob? I know you've got, you definitely have the podcast going on, and you have your own promotion that you're working on right now, correct?
I like to do as little as possible, but as much as I can. And that works out pretty good for the most part. But it's not my promotion. It's a friend of mine who put it together. And I just help out a little bit with, advice here and there, whether ill-advised or not. It's still advice.
Well, so you had one of our guests from the last show, the Cuban Assassin. He was out there with you guys doing, I think, your world title match just recently.
Yeah, well, it's not really the world title because unlike a lot of these indie promoters, if you don't wrestle outside the area you're in, it's not a world championship, but it's the Florida championship. But
well, let me ask you a question. You're facing Cuban, right? You're defending your title against Cuban?
I'm not a champion, but I'm just,
well, you're wrestling Cuban.
Right, at the Emperor's Club. It's a strip club, ladies and gentlemen. It says full nude, but when you go there, you got to pay extra for that. And I'm a little pissed about that. But on April 11th, right there in Tampa, Florida, the Cuban Assassin against Bob Cook in a taped fist match. And then again, here at the Twisted Wrestling Alliance Studios, where I am right now, there's a wrestling ring, a full-size wrestling ring that's sitting right in front of me that nobody comes to train except one person every Sunday because they're overbearing, obnoxious, pig-faced bastards with a dream that'll never come true. That's what I say.
You're a regular carnival barker.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you do have
down there, Bob. I'd train. I'd be in there.
There you go. We're sending Karen down.
Oh, I'd appreciate it. We need a woman down here to help train.
Okay.
We can put Andrew in a dress too if you want.
No, I'll pass on that one.
I did that once. I got dressed in drag one time.
Oh,
I got stuck in an elevator, and the elevator wouldn't open. I was there by myself in a dress, freaking with lipstick on. And the next thing, you can't put lipstick on a pig. You can't put lipstick on me.
I don't think we'll even go there. Why you did that to begin with? I don't know.
Don't ask. It was for a freaking Halloween party.
Oh, okay.
And of course, the only time I do that in my life, I'm stuck inside the elevator for 2 hours.
We'll let the people believe that. Wink, wink.
Yeah, I don't think it was a Halloween party at all. Yeah, I think it was more some enjoyment stuff there.
Yeah.
Hey, whatever you like, whatever floats your boat, you know.
That's all right, Karen. Any questions for the cooker?
Well, I'm just remembering when I first got a chance to meet you, and it was such an honor. I want to say, was it Jackson?
Jacksonville. 2
Jacksonville.
years ago.
Remember that? 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was a lot thinner than I've gained a lot of weight back.
You always had Mountain Dew in your hand, and you would always bring me a Mountain Dew as well.
Well, it's an addiction, legitimately an addiction. I get cranky without my Mountain Dew, and Darlene calls me grump butt as it is.
So, guys, if you're meeting the cook, make sure you're bringing a Mountain Dew along. It's the only way to his.
Or have Cooker sign a can of your Mountain Dew.
Right. And don't shake my hand, but if by chance you reach out and shake my hand, do not squeeze it. I like a light handshake. I'm not a man like most people. I don't want a hard handshake. That's a warning. I'll actually snap at you if you give me a hard handshake.
Andrew
I'll
told
turn
me
into that stupid promotion that Dana White does, that slap promotion, if you hit me with a hard handshake.
You know what? Let's bring a couple people down there. I want to see this. We'll get Cook.
Yeah, let's do it. Hey, squeeze his hand real hard.
I remember, didn't you have to rescue me? Wasn't some fan coming up? Because I remember you came over to get me.
I don't remember if I did. I don't have any guts. Who would I ever rescue?
It was during my match with Cha Cha Charlie.
Oh, maybe that was like I can't think this night.
Yep.
I'm such a coward when I was with my wife, when we'd walk in stores.
And you came out, you and Sean Colonna, you guys came out and got her.
Oh. See, I don't remember.
You were
I'm the hero and don't even remember. Damn it.
What the hell were you drinking?
Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew.
Horse.
Man.
But I like the story of being a hero. I don't know.
Well, let's get it going again. You can always be a hero. Karen always needs help. I mean, look at the ogre she's got beside her.
I'm such a sissy. When I used to be married, I'd walk with my wife. I'd make sure she's on the right side. So if someone started shooting, like we're walking in the store or the mall, someone started shooting, this is my strong arm, right side. She's in the direction of the bullets. I'm in the direction the hell out of there. So, I ain't no hero. Maybe that's why I'm not married anymore. Uh-oh.
So, Bob, I want to ask you a question. What's your opinion, and I'm sure it's a good one, on a good mutual friend of ours, extremely good friend of yours, Fred Ottman, Tugboat, Big Steel Man, Typhoon, going into the Hall of Fame, along with John Tenta, the Earthquake.
I think it's awesome. I sent him a private message, you know what those are, and just said that's awesome. Congratulations. I said, you have my permission to speak ill of me if you choose. But in the speech.
You lived with him for a little while. Is that correct?
Yeah. Last year. Yeah. Him and his wife, they helped me out in a situation I put myself in, which I've done many times in my life. So I recommend not putting yourself in situations.
Words of advice.
So what do you think of Demolition? It's long overdue too, right?
So, yeah, they definitely belong in. But, when you're involved in one of them, concussion lawsuits, sometimes forgiveness is hard.
Yeah, I agree.
Hey, I got a concussion in the WWE, but then wrestled for every other company for, 30 freaking years. But let's blame the guy with the deep pockets. Guess what? That don't fly with the old cooker, unless I can get in on that, because I got a headache right now, to be honest with you. Hey, where's my aspirin, you son of a bitch?
Caffeine from the Mountain Dew.
It's because he's only 3 cans in for the day. That's why he's got the headache.
You need a Mountain Dew lawsuit right there.
It's true, though. If I don't have my Mountain Dew, I do get headaches. What is that, caffeine?
I wonder why.
Withdrawal.
Man, I'll tell you what, Andrew told me when he's like, you want to have Bob on, he's going to throw you off your game. He's a character, and don't think this is going to be any ordinary interview that you're going to have with this guy.
Well, you probably had people tune out already. Sorry.
I've said this numerous times over the past years. I said Bob needs to have his own stand-up comedy act because Bob is so quick on the uptake. You are hysterically funny. You are witty, and you poke fun at yourself as well as those around you, tongue in cheek.
Well, I'd be willing to try, but it would have to be a sit-down comic because my knees are killing me.
That's all right. They can do those, and maybe you're going to start a new trend with that whole thing. You could go with that.
Sit-down comic tour.
There you go.
A sit-down connoisseur.
And then at the end of the show, you just go, I'll be honest with you people. My knees aren't that bad. I'm just freaking lazy. Get me another chair. This time with an Ultimate.
So there you go. We're gonna start promoting the Bob Cook comedy tour. It's going to be a sit-down event. Nobody stand, please, because Bob doesn't want to feel like he has to.
Yeah, I would say we're going to hold it in phone booths, but they don't exist anymore. But that's about all I draw, enough to fit in a phone booth.
We could just have a stand-up comedy in a phone booth with you sitting in it with the door open, addressing the people. How's that?
Just making fun of people that walk by.
Yes, basically.
Hey, get a haircut, you goofball. You look like a 10-year-old. You're 35.
You could be like the mobile comedian. I mean, just go in a mobile home. They come in, sit down.
Yeah, I met Maury Amsterdam when I was a kid because he did that, going around to all the local retirement areas. Remember Maury Amsterdam? You guys are probably too young for that. Yeah. Well, maybe Andrew's not, but
that's great.
Man, I don't even know where we're going with this whole episode now. It is completely derailed.
That's the point of it. We're not your ordinary podcast. We're not your ordinary wrestling podcast. Bob Cook was not your ordinary wrestler. The man took wrestling to a whole new level and expanded upon it with his sense of humor. And he pokes fun at himself, but pokes fun at the business and pokes fun at everybody around us. But at the same time, Bob, I notice that you are one of the most protective individuals for the wrestling business. You have been a very, very supportive of modern day wrestling, which a lot of the old timers like you and myself, a lot of them have bashed, saying this is not the product we worked in, we grew up in, we watched when we were in the business, before we were in the business, or when we were in the business. You are a modern day supporter of the new product, and that's what I appreciate about you.
I do love wrestling, and I'm not bitter in any way. I don't always like everything they do, but I never liked everything they did. I always say wrestling's always had good, bad, great, and sad. I mean, back in the old days, you go back and watch a 1976 episode of Championship Wrestling from Florida, and you got Haystacks Calhoun fighting 2 guys that shouldn't be in the ring in a handicap match, including him, so that makes 3. And they got the Great Mephisto against some other doofbag who can't even take a bump. And then the main event is Bob Orton Jr. against Steve Keirn, and you thought you saw magic. You know why? Because you did. So every era had good, bad, great, and sad, including this one. Like what John Moxley did the other day with that spike in his back.
That was on the subject of that. What was some of the vignettes or storylines that you think should not have taken place? My personal one was, I don't remember what pay-per-view it was, but when Turner was pushing the RoboCop movie and they had RoboCop, Peter Weller come out in the outfit and breaking Sting out of a cage, and Abdullah the Butcher in the electric chair at the end. That was kind of ridiculous to me.
Well, it's ridiculous, but at those times, especially at that time with Turner, if you got a movie company that says, hey, we got this check and we're going to sign it, it's going to have this many dollars on it. We want RoboCop to be involved in your show to help promote the movie and it'll kind of make your show a little bit more maybe in a notoriety as well. They go, oh, I don't know. Do we want extra money or we just want to say no because it's ridiculous? No, you take the money. That's what you do.
Yeah, of course you take the money. That's common sense. But I'm as a wrestling fan back then.
Oh, yeah, it was stupid.
I was a hardcore wrestling fan. And I don't think at that time I was just about breaking into the business or looking to break into business. And it was just like, I couldn't understand that. That was my only storyline that I couldn't really fathom, and I didn't think it belonged in wrestling. Now, however, the one that I did love was when Mae Young and Mark Henry with the giving birth to the baby thing. That was freaking hysterical.
Give birth to the hand.
They gave birth to the hand.
Well, wrestling's always been that throw something against the wall and see what sticks. Sometimes something on paper looks like a genius idea, and then you execute it, and it turns out to be crap. And sometimes something that seems like the dumbest idea ever becomes magic. So you just never know.
Agreed.
And you're never going to please everybody.
No, absolutely not. But that's
how there's not a line of women waiting outside the door here. It's pretty much a fact of that. Oh, wait a minute.
Well, you started saying about the John Moxley bit that he did this past week, catching the spikes in the back. What was your thoughts on that whole thing? I actually cringed a little bit, and I don't think I've done that in a long time in wrestling.
I think it was stupid. I think there's going to be a point where you do something so stupid on TV, you're going to have the wrong person watching what you're doing that works for that company or that's a major input on the production company or the TV company, whoever pays them the money to air that show. And they're going to go, I never watched this, but I heard we own this company or we paid millions of dollars a year to air this programming. And let me check it out. And they see that and they're going to go, geez, what are we promoting here? I mean, they've done that a lot, but that was pretty bad. You know, want to do it on pay-per-view, that's different. But when you do it on a company that's paying you literally millions of dollars a year to air your product, that's kind of scary. No, I could be wrong. Maybe they'll just go, oh, that was disgusting, but I don't know. Why take the chance?
It's been really difficult. I don't know. I know, you've given your positive and negatives when it comes to whatever's going on in the major companies right now. But there's been I feel like a lot of backlash towards Tony Khan and his booking. Do you feel like it's going in a positive direction for those guys at AEW?
No. For me, no. I watch the shows. I try not to be critical publicly, but to myself, I just go, crap. Like I watch the shows like this. See, this is a fake remote. It's a John Cena remote. Notice you can't see it. That's stupid. But I hit the fast forward button most of the time nowadays. Like I watched Raw last night. It took me about, 45 seconds. I watched that boring John Cena promo, and then I started fast forward. And the main event was Braun Breaker against, I don't even remember. And I went through the whole thing, fast forward. I just don't care anymore. I've lost interest.
Yeah, I was really hoping for a lot more with the John Cena heel turn, but I haven't been impressed yet.
But I, on the other hand, I think John Cena has really pulled it off for a guy who was the perennial babyface of the company for so long. I mean, all but they say that he was pushed down people's throats for a while there. I think his heel turn was actually pretty good. I think one of the interviews he did was the promos he did was phenomenal a few weeks ago.
Well, I thought the actual heel turn was good because the shock on the people's faces and the reaction was awesome. But I've hated the promos. I've hated the look. He comes out being the same guy and he's just whining about what happened. Oh, you did this and you did that. But I also live in a mansion with 18 different cars. I mean, come on. To me, it's so easy to be a heel, but you don't got to be the same character just pretending to be a heel. I mean, you got to change it up.
Yeah.
But that's just me. To me, it's just boring as crap. And Cody's no better. John Cena beat him with his own Rolex, beat him with his belt. I think Rock strapped him. The black guy literally broke his eardrum. And what'd they do? He comes out smiling the first time he meets Cena after that. Hey, yay, hey, I'm all happy now. Come on. Ridiculous.
Yeah,
I'm sure it'll work out fine, and I'll watch. Sometimes I'm just not in the mood to watch wrestling, so I'll be more critical or fast forward,
Yeah, I really feel like they could have done less is more though with it. Listening to Jim Ross's podcast when he talked about what are they going to do after this, what are they going to do after this, and he said about less is more. Don't come out there and dump it all right out there. Make people want to keep coming back to be like, well, what is he saying? What is he doing? Kind of like when Lost was on the air on TV. Nobody had a freaking clue what was going on in that show, but you still watched every week.
Mm-hmm.
I love that show.
Yeah, Lost was tremendous.
Yeah, I know. I started getting pissed off at it though because I wanted some damn answers. And they did give it to us, but yeah, I John, he can do amazing things, and I feel like I don't know, I haven't been impressed with the promos lately.
And to me, the look, I mean, change everything. If you're going to turn heel, change everything. Don't come out being the same guy and just come off as, I'm bitter after all. You may be a star, but I'm so bitter.
Bob, that's why I'm lobbying to get you. When you speak of Change It Up, I'm lobbying to get you on that TV show on the History Channel called Naked and Afraid.
Oh. Yeah, people would be really afraid if they saw me naked. Trust me. I take a shower with my clothes on just by chance of catching myself a glimpse in the mirror getting out of the shower. So I shower with my clothes on. Even I don't want to see that.
Yeah, I told you that would get some points out of it.
See,
I knew I'd get you rolling with that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, speaking of rolling, I got about 3 right in my belly. Rolls. I'm not talking about the good kind that my neighbor Randy makes and brings us. I'm talking about real rolls.
I wanted to tell you, Bob, is you're probably one of the nicest people I've met, and honestly, very supportive of our relationship from day one. And that's.
Are you saying you don't get out much?
No, I don't.
I mean, if I'm the nicest person you met, you must not get out much.
But you have always been supportive of our relationship and always stuck by our side, and that's something I appreciate and always want. And wanted to say thank you to you.
Well, that's because I love Andrew, and I know that you make him happy, and seeing a happy Andrew is better than an unhappy Andrew, because he might call me some night and talk to me for 4 hours like some other guy I know, and I have to talk him off the ledge. So keep him happy, because I don't need that crap in my life.
Oh, the Eeyore? You mean this Eeyore?
We're called me.
No, he never did that. I'm just
twins, by the way.
Man. Well, that's why.
What about that show we were talking about? Are you going to be here in May?
I think we're going to be there in May. I think we're going to actually be there in May.
I'll be there.
Well, she'll be there. If she's there, I'm there. So
yeah, I know they've already put the card together because they jump into these things.
Well, we're going to be part of that stellar Twisted Wrestling Alliance.
Oh boy! It's exciting stuff. It was more exciting than I'd have a heart attack.
Well, I can jump off the top ropes. I mean, that would be great.
I don't think you can do that here. We got low ceilings.
You see how you forget how tall she is?
Well, but at the Twisted Wrestling,
a run for his money.
At the Twisted Wrestling Alliance, you have to know how to work in any environment. So if you come here and you go, I can't do it here because they don't do this, you can't do that. Well, then you're not a good wrestler.
Well, there you go. At least you got Karen. We'll leave Andrew at home. I'll just bring Karen down, and Karen can get in the ring, and she'll be the star now. So
that'll work.
All right.
It's better on my body anyway.
Always. Yeah, when I do that strip club show, I'm not taking any bumps. You know, the best part about that show is the lights are really dim and they keep the music playing really loud during the matches. So when I'm telling Cuban that I'm dying and I'm blowing up, they won't be able to hear a thing I say.
Are they still going to be dancing while you're in the middle of the match?
No, they don't dance, but they don't turn the lights up, and they play the music just like a DJ would play it when they're zipping, which they don't really do much because they're not totally naked. Did I say that? Because it pissed me off. Right outside, full nude. You go in there, nothing. Very disappointing.
Well, full nude doesn't mean you need to be full nude though either, Bob.
No, but I don't go to strip clubs often, and when I do, I prefer them to be nude. Just saying.
All right. All right, Bob.
Here you go. So anybody out there who's looking to book Bob Cook, make sure the strip club is full nude, and make sure you have an ample supply of Mountain Dew.
Yep.
Yeah, and I don't mean full nude where you spend extra amounts of money in the back rooms. Wink, wink. That's not what I'm talking about.
Andrew, did you want to ask something about too with Cauliflower Alley? I don't even know.
Oh yeah, I was going to say. Now, Bob, please, what is your role at this point with the CAC?
Well, I am their social media coordinator, according to the website. I don't know, but I just post stuff on the Facebook page, Instagram, X.
Okay. Now,
whatever announcements, different things I feel like posting.
Will you be there?
I posted a picture of my penis once, but they couldn't see it, so I figured, The shock value is gone.
But will you be at the CAC this September?
Probably not, because I hate to travel and I hate people, and I may be the nicest guy ever, but I technically hate people.
I miss you.
No, I'm not planning on it.
We had a lot of good times over the years.
Yeah, I mean, they're having the Evil Knievel Museum, which was in Topeka, Kansas for the last several years, and I was at the grand opening of that, and it's moving to Las Vegas, and it's going to be bigger and better than ever, if that's even possible, because it was already the greatest place on earth, and they're going to be doing that later this year. I'm not exactly sure when, but I don't want to miss that, and I would hate to go to Las Vegas 2 times in 1 year.
Are you saying a museum for Evil Knievel?
Yeah. And the grand opening is going to be in Las Vegas at some time this year. They already had it in Topeka, and it was amazing. I was there because some of my stuff is in the museum, including a picture of me on the wall jumping my bicycle from 1974, which I'm very proud of. Now, whether that'll make it to the new museum, I don't know. But like I said, I don't want to make 2 trips to Las Vegas in 1 year. That would drive me crazy because I hate to pack. I hate every aspect of traveling. I hate to pack. I hate to I hate to sit at the airport. I hate to sit on a plane, Because when I sit on an airplane, I sit there and pray that the plane crashes because that's how miserable I am. But I don't want to take everybody else with me, so it's better not even to put myself in that situation for their sake, for God's sake.
Let me tell you, Bob, packing, I'm a woman. He outdoes me in packing.
Uh-oh.
Outdoes me.
I believe in packing everything I might need if I get stranded somewhere, because so many times I have been stranded that there is no way I'm going to be caught without drawers, extra jeans, shorts, T-shirts, of course, a swimsuit or 3.
Because there might not be a store anywhere.
I know. It's just,
that deserted island, it needs that extra set of...
Well, of course, I always take my Captain America action figure with me and a couple of comic books just in case I need some reading on the toilet.
I'm going to that GrappleCon this weekend, like I said, and I have to pack for that because I'm going to be gone for 3 days, and that's if it's stressing me out. I hate it. But it'll be cool to see Arn Anderson and Abdul the Butcher and a bunch of other people that I haven't seen in a while.
But you're not guesting at GrappleCon. You're just going to GrappleCon.
Right, because Barry Rose runs it, and he lets me go for free. And a friend of mine lives right around here who goes every time, and he lets me go and stay in the hotel for free. So it didn't cost me anything but time and humiliation of being in public. So I just go to say hello to everybody and hang out and,
Yeah, well,
I was thinking about getting some people. Maybe I could get them to do the Cooker's Corner in the hotel or something.
No room for me.
What was that? I'm sorry, I was talking over you.
A few times I've been on, I've reached out to Barry Rose. He has totally blew me off. So,
yeah, I mean, he's a nice guy, and he lets me go for free, and I appreciate it. But again, it's a WCW theme, this one. And they're going to have question and answer. I'm thinking, I got stories about Vader, that overbearing, obnoxious, pig-faced bastard Vader. Yes, he's dead. Don't speak ill of the dead. Well, here's a reality check, folks. I've said this on numerous podcasts. If you're an asshole in life, you're an asshole in death, and I'll tell my side of the story. Gosh darn it.
So I take it your relationship with Leon wasn't good.
Well, I didn't really have one, but I just saw him. He was around me. He was an asshole.
Yeah, he generally treated people like crap. He treated me like crap initially, but then after we had a few matches, he lightened up with me tremendously.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? But he hurt guys week after week, and he was told week after week to stop hurting guys, and he didn't do it. He had no respect for them, and they gave him their body and trusted him, and he just had no respect for him. And that's not how you work in the business. I don't care who trains you.
I agree. Yeah, he was very bitter, very cynical, and a very salty individual.
But I got some stories about him where he passed out drunk in our room, and I had the car Harley race at 3 a.m. And he came and slapped him around and dragged him out by his ear, and he was screaming the whole time, "I'm sorry, Harley." I love that story because it makes the fat bastard look like the fat bastard he was.
Man. Well,
that's one I haven't heard.
Well, it's a good one.
Any podcast that we should tune into so Andrew can hear that story?
No. I don't know. I've done so many podcasts. I got to do one Thursday. I got to do another podcast 8:30 tonight. I'm in demand, and it costs me all about nothing. And how much do I make? Well, nothing.
How much we're making, brother?
We're sending you bottles of Mountain Dew.
Ooh, they make it in bottles? Because, oh, you mean plastic bottles? Forget it. I'd rather have cans.
They do have
Although free Mountain Dew is free Mountain Dew.
They do have the glass ones now. I've seen them. They've been in the Coca-Cola style bottles.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you my address. 666 hell.
I should have worn my Mountain Dew shirt.
She has a Mountain Dew Me shirt on.
Mount and Do Me.
Mount and Do Me.
Oh, wait a minute now. Yeah, one of my students that I trained brought me some
people are giving her dirty looks. Bob, you have no idea the amount of haters that we have out there, and the amount of people that are happy for our happiness, but because of what we do, because of how she dresses and the places we go and the things we do, we have so many fucking haters.
I say, do what you do, and the hell with all of them. That's what I always say.
I agree.
Although on Facebook, you got haters. The block button. Mark Zuckerberg may take a lot of heat, but the block button, like air conditioning, is one of the greatest inventions in history.
Yep. I just recently blocked somebody else just now who had a lot of issues with me. You know, I think you might know who it is, but I'll talk about it afterwards. But I had to block that person because he said he's tired of seeing me and her posting pictures of me and her.
Oh, jeez. You know, I'll block somebody for the dumbest reasons. Like I could post something like, I hated John Cena's promo, and someone would say, Bob, I don't think you're right. It was a great promo. Block. If you're not one of my real friends, I don't give a crap.
I love it.
Man, so be careful out there, guys. Just if you're going to piss off Bob Cook, it's really, really simple.
Tread lightly around the cooker on Facebook, around X, and around Instagram.
He fired.
If you like the wisdom, if you like the wisdom of the cooker, don't get on my bad side.
So we do a little segment on the show every time we do the show, Bob, and we do a little reminiscing of Kevin Sullivan. You know, Andrew had a very close relationship with Kevin Sullivan, so we do a little reminiscing on Kevin Sullivan. Do you have any stories that you that come right to the top of your head about Kevin Sullivan?
Well, first of all, I loved Kevin, as Andrew did. I wasn't as close as Andrew was with him, although I'd known him probably longer than Andrew. I first met him in '86 and had watched him since I was a kid, you know. And to find out he's one of the nicest guys there was like Terry Funk. I mean, to me, Terry Funk was the greatest wrestler of all time. He's why I got in wrestling, why I got hooked on wrestling, why I'm wearing the shirt. Because I loved Terry Funk since I was a kid. And when you first met him, you thought he's going to be the most, you know, just the asshole he played on TV. And it turned out he's the nicest guy ever. And at least to me personally, that's what Kevin always was. He's the guy who gave me and Jerry Gray the gimmick, the Mighty Yankees, which, it's a stupid name. I don't care. But he gave us a push in Florida. You know, we were the Florida Tag Team Champions, and he did a lot for me. And thinking back on just little things, especially in the ring, me and Jerry were wrestling him and I think Bugsy McGraw in Miami at the Convention Center. That's right, where Terry Funk won the world title from Jack Briscoe. If you don't know about that, you don't know your wrestling history. Jabroni wrestling fans, they disgust me. But anyways, Kevin grabbed an ice cream cone from someone in the crowd and stuck it in the eye hole of my mask. And I was like trying to keep from laughing. He's like, yeah, hungry, Bobby? Because he always called me Bob, and he's like,
Listen, I just remembered that when I won the championship wrestling from Florida heavyweight title about 2.5 years ago, when I won that match, all I know is this: you were there, Gangrel was there, Cuban was there, and and obviously Kevin was in my corner, and Ricky Santana. And to me, that I was just happy to have that belt and be around some guys who were in the real championship wrestling from Florida and really, really took care of me during my breaks in the business. And having you there was special to me. And you know that.
Championship wrestling from Florida was, some of the greatest times of my life. And even though I was only there for a couple of years, because I didn't go there until '86, and then it went out of business thanks to that old overbearing. I go back to that overbearing, obnoxious, mongoloid-looking bastard, Jim Crockett, who bought the company and then shut it down after promises after promise after promise. But it was a cool time.
It's a great time. I wish I could have been there for the original. But
no, you don't, because that'd make you older than you are. Who wants that?
Yeah, true.
Well, Bob, thank you for taking some time with us. One final question for you, though. It's all been fun and everything, but I try to get something a little bit serious in the whole thing. Any advice you have for new pro wrestlers breaking into the business or wanting to do this entire thing? What do you give to your students that is one thing they can take forward in order to make it in this business?
Well, I don't know about making it because it's so hard to make it, but I advise people to join the Cauliflower Alley Club. Cauliflower Alley wrestling.org. It's only $35 a year or $400 for a lifetime membership, and that may help you down the road. Whether you're riding high at 27 years old and 10 years later you're not riding so high and something comes along a bump in your road that you can't have an answer to, Cauliflower Alley Club can help you out financially. Now, they're not going to make you rich, and if you're a drug addict or something like that, well, you're on your own there. But if you run into financial problems, whatever it is, from health to maybe divorce, maybe a hurricane loss, because they've helped me, and I'm not ashamed to admit it.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's my advice to everybody: is just join the Cauliflower Alley Club.
Bob. They've helped me too.
Yep, and it's a great organization. It's been around for 60 years. They're celebrating the 59th reunion this year because of COVID. Put the kibosh on one of the reunions, so it's the 59th. But they've been around for 60 years. Hey, wait a minute! I've been around for 61 years. Hey, I'm not impressed by that, but I am impressed by the Cauliflower Alley Club because they've been helping people for that long.
There you have it, guys.
And the more people, here's the rules of thumb, the more people who join, the more money they make, the more people they can help. And if you're a wrestling fan that sits around and claims that you love wrestling, if you see some of these guys when they get older, especially that are using walkers and canes, and I'm not talking about Bob Cook because, hey, he's a tough guy. You don't use walkers and canes. But I'm talking about the guys that have been through the mill. If you saw what they were going through, you'd know that the Cauliflower Alley Club is there for them as well. And if you're a wrestling fan, that's your way of giving back. For all the entertainment they gave you, $35 a year ain't nothing. You spend that on a damn T-shirt.
Yeah.
For God's sake, that's a ridiculous price for a T-shirt, by the way.
Which you do have some new T-shirts and everything. I did see that you posted that.
Well, they've been around for a while. It's prowrestlingtees.com. They sold in the beginning, but they were mostly friends buying them because, wrestling fans don't care. Because I hate wrestling fans. Did I say that out loud? But I say I hate wrestling fans. By the way, go to Pro Wrestling Tees and buy a T-shirt.
At least he's honest, guys. At least he's completely honest with you.
They make it easy.
From Bob Cook.
No, none
They
whatsoever.
make it easy to hate.
No sympathy from the Cooker either.
No.
But they will give you sympathy at Cauliflower Alley. So if you go to Cauliflower Alley, they help a lot of pro wrestlers out. They've helped Andrew out. They've helped Bob Cook out. So check that out. Become a member over there at Cauliflower Alley and pay back so Bob Cook does not hate you as a wrestler.
Man, some of the names of the CAC have helped out over the years. Just from off the top of my head, Paul Orndorff, they helped him a lot. They paid his mortgage. They did a lot. Superstar Billy Graham, twice they helped Superstar. Abdullah the Butcher, a lot of different guys they've helped out. The CAC has helped out a lot of people in the business that were in need, that gave their body, put their body on the line for your entertainment, and now they need help. Not everybody saved their pennies, and some people saved their pennies but had their pennies taken away. Hint, hint, wink, wink. So
let me just say one more thing, because we rambled on about ridiculous stuff. Me not being sexually harassed by my makeup artist and different stupid things. But I just wanted to say, and I always say it, podcast, that the great Malenko trained me, and I loved him like a father, and I miss him every day. And I have to bring that out there. I wouldn't be in the wrestling business at all if it wasn't for the great Malenko. And if you don't know who that is, well, there goes back to that wrestling fan hate. Look it up, for God's sakes.
There you have it, guys. Make sure you know about the Malenkos, because the Malenko family has done amazing things for professional wrestling. And
I would love to have Jody Simon on. I would love to have him on our podcast one day.
Well, I happen to be good friends with Joe, so I can put in a good word for him.
Just dropping some hints there.
A little hint, feel.
Right. He's being inducted into the MMA Hall of Fame here in Florida later this year, and I was invited, so I might have connections with Joe.
I know you got connections.
It's a small community, guys. Pro wrestling, you never know who's going to know who and who you're going to piss off in the whole thing. So, Bob, thank you so much for taking some time. You are always welcome here on Reinforcer Radio because you're freaking hilarious, man. You've got some great stories, and you are a legend, even though you will not admit that you are a legend. So please take the time, check out Twisted Wrestling Alliance, Bob's promotion. He's got the pro wrestling school down there at Twisted Wrestling Alliance, as well as the Cooker Corner podcast. How often are you posting episodes for the show?
Well, we try to do it weekly, but because we want people to come here to the studio, and it's getting harder to find people. But I might do it. I'm hoping to get Arn Anderson and some other people maybe to spend a few minutes with me in Tampa this weekend and do a couple from a hotel room or wherever we could do it. Just even if they're 10 minutes, it'd be cool for the cred, the street cred. Oh, by the way, I got Bob Cook trading cards you can buy for $15 shipped. Some guy made them, and I said, hey, can I have some to sell? He said, sure, go ahead. So there you go. Didn't cost me a dime, but
Bob Cook trading cards.
I don't
guys.
really hate wrestling fans. It was just a shtick.
Where can they get those wrestling cards at, Bob?
Well, I could tell you where the guy who paid me to sign them could get them, but then I would take away from where I can sell them here. Hit me up on Facebook.
Bob Cook, and he'll get you some. He'll gladly sell you wonderful fans out there some pro.
I have sold about 20 of them so far. So
and also Bob Cook, Cooker T-shirts on at ProWrestling.com.
Yeah.
Have we
Power
done
the Punch, Malenko alumni.
Well, there's all your shameless plugs we got for you.
Yeah, I am ashamed of myself.
That's completely all right. So make sure you check out Bob's podcast. If you don't check it out, we're sending Andrew over there to punch your mother in the mouth.
Well, Bob,
hey, I would have had another
brand of coffee. You need your own brand of Mountain Dew.
I would have had another shameless plug if I wouldn't have fired my makeup artist. Oh, get it?
Well, we'll leave you on that, guys. Please, if you're looking to be a makeup artist, Bob Cook is looking for a makeup artist. Remember that on the application, it does say that you need to be able to sexually harass Bob Cook. So if you cannot do that, don't apply.
Correct.
During the auditions, Bob would like a reach around.
Oh, there's definitely going to be audition because I'm not going to pick the first one. Come on.
They'll be lined up.
No matter how good the first one is, there could always be a better one.
There you have it, guys. Send over your applications to Bob Cook. He will vet them very carefully.
Wait a minute. You said, hold on, guys. I think it should be hold on, girls. I don't think he plays that.
Yeah, that's true. But I am very superficial, so keep that in mind, which means if you come in here and you weigh even half as much as I do, don't even knock on the door. I'm superficial that way.
Well, listen, all 4 ladies that have actually listened to our podcast, we'll send them your way, Bob. There's no telling what they look like. They're not
pictures,
pictures,
sure. Names, addresses,
He accepts it all, guys. But Bob, again, thank you so much. We'll have to have you on Reinforcer Radio very soon, just to come on, crack some jokes, and take me off my game here as a host. So thank you, dude.
I'll tell you in detail about that incident in New Orleans.
We're not going to talk about that incident in New Orleans.
We're not going to talk about that.
I call it the Renata incident. It wasn't at a Renata hotel. It was the name of the person. The Renata incident. I like it.
Well, stay tuned, guys, for the next time we roll things here with Bob Cook. Maybe he'll talk about the incident in New Orleans. If not, we don't know what to tell you in the whole thing. But ladies and gentlemen, Bob Cook, thank you, dude.
Thank you, Bob.
All right.
Bye, Bob.
Thank you. Bye.
Reinforcer Radio.
Guys, Reinforcer Radio is back on the airways with you. And man, what a freaking interview with Bob Cook there.
Bob is definitely a character, man. I mean, you could throw the ball straight down the line, he'll run sideways. If you have the ball sideways, he'll go straight down the line. If you go forwards, he'll go backwards. He throws you off on every conversation because he is a natural born comedian.
He is, and you warned me before we did this interview that like he's going to throw you off, and it's not going to be a typical interview with Cook. And God, I was definitely not expecting it. I didn't get really any questions pro wrestling wise in. I felt like we were just we were at Bob Cook's mercy.
Well, I think we were, and you know what? The Cooker is definitely a legend in the business. No matter what he says. To the contrary, he's done so much in the business. When you work the likes of Flair, Pillman, the Road Warriors, Kevin Sullivan, Mark Lewin, everybody else under the sun, Championship Wrestling from Florida, where he got his start, to the WWE, to WCW. I mean, he's done it all. I mean, and on top of it, Cooker is a genuinely beautiful human being. I mean, his work that he's doing now for the social media rep for the Cauliflower Alley.
Mm-hmm.
Plug in the Cauliflower Alley because, like he says, you plug the Cauliflower Alley, you're helping somebody down the road in the wrestling business. Could be yourself. I mean, it's just a benevolent society over there with them, and it's a nonprofit organization that's created by wrestlers and boxers for wrestlers, boxers, and even MMA people. So, but it's become more of a fraternity for pro wrestlers. So than it is boxing or MMA.
Yeah, it really is. And I've seen a couple of things.
Hold on a second, Jeff. Are you a member of the Cauliflower Alley?
Well, see, until now, I didn't know I could be.
You can.
And now that I know, obviously, I'm going to become a member of the
$35 a year.
Or $400 for a lifetime.
$400 for a lifetime.
See, that Bob Cook may have just sold a membership.
There you
well,
go.
no, not may have. He did sell a membership because Andrew will kick my ass if I don't get off of here then.
Well,
and get that done.
And the Cauliflower Alley, the president of the Cauliflower Alley is B. Brian Blair from the Killer Bees. Just another great human being and an awesome individual. And you have great people working for him, like Darla Staggs. And it's just a tremendous, tremendous organization. And I highly recommend any pro wrestling fans out there, if you watch wrestling and you enjoy the business, and if you care for some of the wrestlers that you have watched growing up, and they might somewhere down the road need your help, so you'll actually be giving back by helping them, because the more members they have, the more money they have to support and help those in need in the business.
And, we talked about it last episode where, Brian Knobs needs all the help he can get with some of his issues going on right now. I did see a post today that he is doing better, which is great, but the GoFundMe is still up there for Brian. So please check that out. And
he's
donate.
I think he's either gone home already or he was just about to go home as a few days ago. I saw that posted out there. Fred Young put the GoFundMe page together for Brian, and I think it's doing quite well, and it should help him out a lot. Also, there's a GoFundMe page for Vince Steele, who passed away in the ring in Richfield Park, New Jersey, of a heart attack about 2 weeks ago. That's another thing. It's to help him. He has 3 young children at home, and it'll help him with his funeral cost and just for the children itself, because his family's going through a great crisis. So.
There you go, guys. So check all those out. And we know that times are tough for a lot of people right now. So, but if you can give back to some of these guys who and girls who have given their life, their time, and everything to entertain and to bring us this beautiful art of professional wrestling, please do what you can for it. I know I wish I could do a lot more. I know Andrew probably wishes he could do a lot more in order to give back, but they're 2 great causes right now, 2 great GoFundMes. We'll have Andrew put up both of them again. We'll put back up on Reinforcer Radio again, and we'll put it up on reinforcerradio.com, of course, and just get the word out there, guys. People need help, and if we can help, we got to do it.
And the Cauliflower Alley, I'm not ashamed to say that they helped me during my time of need, and they really helped me a lot. And it was just really, for me, it was heartwarming and heart-wrenching at the same time, because I had to ask for help, so, and that came at Brian Blair's suggestion. So I wouldn't have done it on my own. I was just too proud, but Brian talked me into it, and I did it, and I got approved, and they helped me a lot. So, that was just one thing to help me along the way. So.
Yes, please don't be afraid to step up and say you need help sometimes. Everybody needs help at times, and you're worthy of help. And it's just the way of life, It's been a difficult thing for me to ask for help, but I have asked for help. I've shared, I've got some mental health issues myself, and I'm trying to get some extra help and trying to get some more things done so I can get myself back on track. And you know what? The first step was me admitting that I needed help. So if you need something out there, guys, please reach out. We've seen too many of our brothers and sisters not come home, and we don't want to keep seeing that anymore. So
Karen's a trauma therapist. So.
Just going to state, if there's anything that you need, please don't hesitate to ask, because can send you the right direction or just give you information. I do a lot of trauma work, and it's a great need right now.
And that's why she's so good with Andrew, because she's dealt with trauma for her entire life.
Yes, every day Karen spends with me is like having our own little Jerry Lewis marathon over there, telethon, to try to save the brain of the reinforcer.
Yes, and we all know that is an incredibly difficult task. I have found that out. I believe me, I had hair at one point in time. Andrew has contributed to me not having any more as well.
Hey,
but
look, your hairline was gone the day I met it. I'm blaming Kelly for that one.
Yeah. She I don't know. I don't remember she ever knew me with hair. We've known each other for gosh, almost 10 years.
We got to get you a William Shatner toupee.
A toupee, huh?
Yeah, I think you could pull it off.
I don't know if I could do a toupee, but
How about a 3-pay?
All right, I'm good with a 3.
Okay.
Good with a 3.
3-pay.
It's got to be better than 2, right?
Hey, whatever helps.
All right. So if you checked out our Facebook page recently, I did make a post up there that we have an announcement, which is really, really cool. We're going to be announcing the fact that we are going to be at WrestleCon hopefully this year. There's a good possibility of it as long as Andrew's schedule works out for it all.
And also, my birthday is on October 22nd. You know what October 22nd is?
What is October 22nd?
October 22nd, I share my birthday with the late, great Pedro Morales. But you know who else?
Who?
Bill Apter. You know what that means? It's not October, but I'm giving you a hint, hint, wink, wink.
Yes, we may be talking to Bill Apter very soon.
Yes, the great, legendary International Pro Wrestling Hall of Famer now, journalist Bill Apter.
Yes, so please stay tuned for that. We have that awesome thing. October 22nd, you're only a couple days before Kelly. She is a Halloween baby. That's why she is okay with scary things like me. It all works out. So you guys, full circle here. But anyway, so we got some really cool things that are going to be coming your way very, very soon with Reinforcer Radio. And we got to thank our sponsors, because we got some really cool people that are backing us up right now. Of course, Janice Coffee Roasters. They've got the Reinforcer coffee right there. Here, let me bring that in for you quick. Here you go. Bring that up.
Yep,
Reinforcer coffee, that wonderful picture there of Andrew on the front. I don't understand why you wouldn't put Karen on there, because you'd probably sell more.
Well, then we got to put the lovely Miss Coffee.
Miss Coffee.
The lovely Miss Coffee.
Okay, well, make it happen. But thank you, JaniceCoffeeRoasters.com. Make sure you guys check those guys out. You can get yourself Reinforcer coffee. And like I said, Kelly's a connoisseur of coffee, and it's freaking delicious. And we absolutely thank you and love you guys for supporting Reinforcer Radio. The other one is, of course, w.gg.com, where you can get those sugar-free energy drinks. They're actually like a mix that you can get. They're made from coffee beans and stuff like that, but they're really, really good. If you go on there and you use the coupon code Reinforcer, then you'll be supporting the show, and they'll know that we sent you guys over there, and you're helping out the show. That's the biggest thing. It's
made with a natural source of caffeine.
There you go. And it's also got some vitamins, some B3 and stuff like that in there, but absolutely delicious. So please go out and check that out, w.gg.com. Use that coupon code Reinforcer. We'll use it after the big guy here. It should be real easy to figure out. And if need be, please always hit us up on the Facebook, the YouTube, the reinforcerradio.com. We've got a million places that you can try to hit us up. And thank you, Bob Cook.
Thank you, Bob,
for derailing our show completely. That was amazing.
Oh, and by the way, any wrestling fans here in Pennsylvania, and you see myself and the lovely Miss Karen training at Retro Fitness in Kenhorst, don't be embarrassed. You don't have to message me. Come up to me, say hello. I'll gladly take a photo with you. So will she. We would love to really make you guys happy.
Yes, please. He's always over there. Karen's usually over there with him. We actually, he's going to get me over there and maybe doing a little lifting, get my lard ass into a little bit better shape. So I can stick around.
I did not call you a lard ass.
No, that was me completely. I am full on that kid from Stand By Me.
You could do a Scott Steiner, say, you fat ass.
Well, listen, Bob Cook said about being morbidly obese. I feel you, Cooker. I'm right there with you, brother.
He's not morbidly obese. Come on.
His words, not mine.
No, he's not. He's so full of shit. He looks good. He looks like a wrestler still. You see Bob, you know he's a wrestler.
That's very true. And, listen, I don't care on the weight line, because let me tell you, Bam Bam Bigelow was a big dude, but one of the greatest in-ring technicians that you can, and high flyer as well. Like,
amazing.
Absolutely freaking awesome. And I dig the bald head, because bald guys are just better.
You got to get a tattoo now.
Ooh, I don't know if I can do. I've told myself I got to stay away from face tattoos and head tattoos just for a little while. I did get my my knuckles done, so I'm in that. Everybody says I'm in a gang now.
He's got that prisoner thing going
That's
on.
right. That's right. Don't mess with me. I've got knuckle tattoos. So, but I'm gonna get Andrew all tatted up over here at some point.
No. No, no ink, no ink.
No.
Although he said he would get one, but
I'm gonna get.
Not the way he said
I'm
it.
gonna get one for her of her what she wants.
All right.
I'll get one of that. But
I am going to
not
film
going-
it, guys.
I am not getting sleeves. I'm not getting my balls tattooed. I'm not getting my sphincter tattooed with a big starfish.
Ladies
on
and
it.
gentlemen,
Come on.
I don't have my
a
balls
spider
tattooed.
on the head of my wiener. I'm not getting none of that done.
Thank you for PGing the whole thing.
Well,
there.
you know what? I had to go
Wiener.
into it. You know,
That's going to be a great drop.
Karen's got 2 smoking tattoos strategically placed in a.
You go on OnlyFans, Only Wrestling.
Oh, don't tell them OnlyFans.
No, go to Only Wrestlers. Check out
Wrestlers.
the lovely Miss Karen, and you can check out those tattoos.
Ladies and gentlemen, she does not have an OnlyFans.
No,
Don't you start this now.
yeah.
My goodness, there
And,
goes the internet.
And also, you can go to the Only Wrestlers page for Andrew Anderson. You won't see any tattoos, and you won't see any cheesecake, but you will see a lot of.
I'll make sure I post up there a couple of pictures shirtless with Andrew, so that way the cheesecake is on there.
I am getting leaner and bigger by the day.
You are. You're doing a new fasting diet, right?
Yeah, I started it, but then I this weekend came and I kind of lost it. But I'm trying to do a bone broth diet where I just for a few days just drink bone broth and clear out the system and everything. But the system starts getting cleared out, and so does the paint on the walls of the house.
Oh.
Last night I was spraying all sorts of she said it crept into the bedroom when I went to the bathroom.
I am so sorry for you, Karen.
Cornish game hens and
She did make Cornish game hens
Ooh.
with homemade stuffing.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because Kelly pulled a turkey out, a full-size turkey, a couple of days ago, and 2 days ago she made an entire Thanksgiving dinner, stuffing, everything.
It's amazing, right?
I'm still bloated from it.
I love it, but that's one of my favorite meals. When she makes Thanksgiving dinner, we're up all night. I'm helping her base the turkey. Well,
I'm up all night.
okay, well, she's up.
Every
The
hour
smell,
on the hour,
the smell
the
keeps
birds.
me up. The smell keeps me up.
Ladies and
It's-
gentlemen, Andrew Anderson is not actually up all night. It is Karen.
I'm salivating at the smell of her basting the turkey constantly. And her jumping out of bed keeps me up all night anyway.
Yeah, well, she's trying to feed you and keep you happy there.
She does. She keeps me happy.
Yes. But yes, Kelly made a freaking delicious full Thanksgiving meal. It's her favorite thing to do. She absolutely loves turkey. She's like the dad in A Christmas Story where, she's in there like it's still raw and she's trying to take a little bite of it.
You have the Bupkis dogs. You got the 2 giant dogs.
I do.
I'm waiting for them to tear up your turkey and Kelly to be yelling, Bupkis.
She gives them half the turkey. What are you kidding me?
Does she really?
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
Turkey's
dude.
not good for dogs.
Listen, they have some reeking farts that with the whole thing. I give them a piece or two, but the worst thing that gives the worst dog farts is venison.
Really?
Venison. My dog Rebel, she's a Rottweiler, 110-pound Rottweiler. God, it will peel paint off.
I wouldn't know. Nobody offered me any venison.
I didn't get any this year.
Well, what? No deer come crawling through your backyard?
I didn't get any this year. Yeah, I'm too close to the railroad tracks and everything.
They get hit by trains,
Yeah, but when they get hit by trains, there ain't nothing left.
Yeah, I guess maybe you could make head cheese from the head of the venison.
Nah, they explode.
I believe it.
It's gone.
Listen, I hit one in 1999. The same day I was coming back from a tour. We did a show at the Amherst Pepsi Center in Buffalo, New York. I was driving back. That was on Saturday night. Sunday was the pay-per-view where Owen Hart died. That was
God rest his soul.
Like 6 hours, 12 hours before I hit a deer, 2 deer actually, and trashed my car. And I was on Route 80 heading east in the Pocono Mountains. And that was a nightmare. So yeah, I do know how they explode.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. If you want to hear some really crazy stories, I can tell you about things exploding on trains. But anyway, that is not for children out there, so we will not talk about that right now. But all right, well, I guess we're going to wrap this entire thing up. We had our awesome reminiscing about Kevin Sullivan's story with Bob Cook there, and the kindness of Kevin, and just how awesome a person Kevin was, and forever will be. Andrew, what do you got coming up?
Well, this weekend on Saturday, I am doing a 1 p.m. show in Glen Burnie, Maryland for USA Pro Wrestling. It's Brian Hardy's company, and the venue was changed. It was in Elmore, West Virginia, but they just changed it, I think, a week or two ago. So I don't have all the particulars of it, but I'll share them on the Reinforcer Radio page, and we'll figure it out from there. I have that, and we have a lot more going on. I mean, right now I don't have everything. I can't remember everything on my schedule in front of me, but I'll post it on Reinforcer Radio. So anyone wants to follow me and see where I'm going to be at, we'll take it from there. We do, however, we have the Cauliflower Alley coming up in September. So in August, yeah, that's right. This year it's in August. Last year was in September. We were talking to Bob. We were asking about September. In August, we will be there. I think August 18th, right? August 18th, we'll be in Vegas for that.
I think Cauliflower is August 21st to 23rd.
Yeah, but I think we're getting there on the 18th. Our flights.
Getting there.
So yeah.
I think closer to
yeah,
they'll figure it out, guys.
20th to
Don't worry.
21st, 22nd. Yeah, that's the date. So anyway, so from there on, a lot going on. We'll figure it out. I'll post everything on Reinforcer Radio, and we'll take it from there.
All right, guys. Well, you know what we always say. If you're not listening to Reinforcer Radio, we're coming in and we're punching your mother in the face.
That's right. No. We don't punch her in the face. We come to your house and we punch your mama in the mouth.
There we go. I told it to you last time, so I'm not going to drop it every time for you guys, but Andrew's telling you. We're coming.
Now, listen, and if by chance your mom is not alive, we're going to go punch your grandmammy in the face. And if she's not alive, we'll dig them up, break them loose, and pop them in the face. And if they're cremated, we'll just shatter the ashes and sprinkle them all over the place. How's that?
Well, there you go, guys. Any way that we can terrorize your family, we are here
but
for you.
We do love you, all of you out there. Tune in, and enough with the rough housing, so to speak.
Yes.
So we're not
Cooker throw us all.
Yeah, Cooker will throw us all off. See, we're not being disrespectful. It's just a little thing I say after an interview. I'm going to come to your house and punch your mom in the mouth. But some kid at a wrestling show one time said, "My mom is dead." And I said, "Well, I had to be a little. I had to think on my feet." And I said, "Well, I'll dig her up and punch." He said, "She's cremated." I said, "Well, I'll pee on her ashes." So.
There you go, kids. There you go. Don't mess with Andrew at a show. I'm just kidding. He's a great person to see at local wrestling shows, and he's got a bunch coming up. He's going to keep you posted on all that stuff. Miss Karen is always here to join us and brighten up the old studio here in Reinforcer Studios. And guys, we will see you next time around. Later.